All right, so let's tell everybody about our history together. And 1, how we met each other. 2, how we got involved with MX soccer. I remember I was probably like, 12, 13 years old when I met you?
Yeah, you were on 125s, I think, like the first time I actually rode with you. We didn't really ride together much because you were always a couple years younger than me. What are you now, like 25?
Yeah, I just turned 25.
So I'm 28, so on little bikes, like you were always a couple years below me. But I remember at some like open rides at Redbud, and actually every year my Facebook memory pops up where it's like one of the first times I ever wore a GoPro. I think I'm on a 450 maybe, and you're on your 125 just throwing scrubs and everything. So even back then, 10, 15 years ago, you were still the scrub god.
Yeah, I've always been that guy. It's funny because I ran a GoPro that day too, and I remember we posted, like you posted your angle of you looking over me. I think it was on that ski jump after the start. And I had the same angle, and we posted that. Now it's like 2011, 12.
Who knew?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Who knew what it would turn into? But hey, we've been changing the game ever since the beginning. But yeah, basically we just lived kind of near each other. And what, you're 3 hours from me, basically?
Yeah.
So I'd see you at some local races and stuff. Yeah. You always kind of know who the local like fast guys are, you know? And Nick was becoming a fast guy at that time, and I was probably just turning pro. So you just kind of naturally get with the local fast guys, but you kind of moved away pretty early, so we didn't ever really get a chance to race each other. I don't think besides the Redbud Pro National we've ever raced each other.
No, so I think we've raced each other maybe 2 times. 2018 Redbud 250 class, I believe.
Really? You did 250 class?
Yeah, I did like 250 national because that was my first year pro. I did high point on the 450. I qualified, and then I was like, okay, that was difficult. Let's move to the 250. I barely qualified in the 250.
Yeah.
And I'm 6'1". I was like 190 pounds. I rode, my bike was 4 years old actually. It was like, I know the homologation rule or whatever. Your bike can only be so many years old.
Yeah.
And my bike was like that was the last year I could race it. And I rode it from Schoolboy 2. I had the same bike, same motor, same frame, everything. From Schoolboy 2, I did Schoolboy 2, 250B, 250A, and then I raced my first pro national in the 250 class on that same exact bike.
That bike went through. That bike's awesome shit, dude. Like, that thing's roach. Dude, whoever has that bike now, I apologize.
It was actually, it's sitting down in my room. It was like, what am I gonna get? Like 300, or not 300, maybe like $3,000, $4,000 for it.
Yeah,
max.
it's true.
So I'm like, I might as well keep it as like a cool paperweight.
Yeah, that's one you hang on to for sure. But yeah, so 2018, yeah, I was in the 250 class, so we would have raced each other.
Yep.
And then 2020 or no, it was just last year, wasn't it? 22, we raced each other at Redbud again. Because the one year you qualified insane, but you knocked yourself out in practice, so they wouldn't let you race. I think that was going to be the only other year that we raced each other. And then last year, 22 Redbud, we raced each other. And you came straight off the couch and made it in. I always get a kick out of this dude's comment section because he kind of came into his fame after he stopped racing pro. So not a lot of people know that Nick was actually an absolute beast racing as well. So he has done pro nationals. So when I scroll through the comments and I see everyone like, yo, why doesn't this dude race? I'm like, they don't even know. You're not an OG. But
no, I will say my results very subpar.
Yeah, I think I laughed you maybe twice.
Yeah, I was gassed. Like Jeff said, I was literally coming off the couch. I'm like, all right, I'm just going to show up at Redbud and go for it. I qualified. I think I qualified 26.
Yeah, you crushed.
It's 26. And then actually, so we've raced each other in 21 and 22. If you did 2021.
I was on a 250, 2021.
Okay, so yeah, okay, so we're correct. But I did do nationals in 2021 as well. But yeah, I qualified, I don't know, 30 something, 31st maybe. I don't know. It wasn't great, but I was in B practice, track's muddy. Like if you ever ridden a national or been to a national very early in the morning first practice, that track is absolutely.
People don't know.
It's so bad.
People have no idea.
It's literally like a mutter. Like it's unbelievable. But I qualified in, and then I was already tired by the motos. Like I was, I remember this is actually why I like kind of went away from racing, is because I remember sitting on the gate at Redbud in 2022, and I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. Like this is, I just went through basically hell stress. My dad's rushing to change tire. We're washing the bike. Like, you know the stress of going to a national,
Oh, for
right?
sure.
It is ridiculous. And I was sitting there, I'm like, I'm really going to get like nothing out of this. And this is, you know, as most of you probably don't know, I am involved with MX Soccer on the business side as well. And that's when things kind of started to take off from like a business perspective. So I'm sitting there, I'm like, I'm trying to handle that during the week. And then I'm on the gate at Redbud racing on Tomac, right? And I'm like, dude, like, what am I doing? Like, and yeah, I didn't do well at all. My result, I went like 33, 32 or something. Like, I was just riding around.
So it was just like burnout, basically, is what you felt like?
Yeah, it was, I mean, I loved riding and I love like the sport itself, but racing at the professional level was ridiculously stressful, especially when you're trying to fund it yourself. You get it. All these privateers get it. And it was like too much to, I wouldn't say it's too much. I could probably still do it, but I wouldn't enjoy it. I wouldn't enjoy riding like I do now.
Yeah, and you have to give up so much throughout the rest of the year. Mm-hmm. Like, I know when I'm looking at where you're going all season, like all summer and stuff, I'm like, man, that'd be so sick. But I know, like, if I go on that trip, that's going to make doing the nationals so much more stressful. So you give up a lot. And, like, I feel like I haven't quite had that burnout because I was never like going to do that when I was a kid and going to school and everything. Like, I was always 100% doing the college route, and I wasn't even fast enough. Like, I didn't think I was ever going to be pro or anything. So one thing I've always wondered is, like, has my career been prolonged because I wasn't like a young prodigy or whatever, you know? I didn't go the training facility route or anything like that. And I know you kind of did do that route. I don't know, you didn't do or did you do homeschooling?
So
First part of it?
I did. I went to public high school, or I went to public school through my freshman year in high school. And then I was actually my public school's first ever like online student.
Nice, pioneering.
Yeah, I guess you can say I was a pioneer of it. But I technically graduated from my public school, but I wasn't at the public school. I was down at MTF.
Gotcha.
Right?
So what age did you go to MTF?
I would have been 14. I went to Club MX first, and I actually got kicked out of club because it wasn't for like what you would think. I wasn't being dumb or anything, but this is around like Daytona time. I went down maybe like fall of 2013, and then Daytona time comes around spring 2014. Everybody's gone. Nobody's at Club MX right now, or at that time. And I couldn't ride. I couldn't ride for like a week and a half because everybody's gone. They're going to Daytona and then they're going to Freestone. And I'm like, well, what do I do? So I just...
You're like, go to
my dad,
club or what?
Yeah, no, he should have, but no, my dad and I were like, I guess we'll just go to MTF. They're having like a week camp. Let's just go so you can keep training.
Oh, no.
So I went to MTF, and Colleen was like, okay, like, you're a great rider. Do you want to come here? Type deal. And we're like, we're at club right now. Like, you know, I don't know. She was like, well, we'll make a spot for you. Anyways, I get back to club, and one of the trainers came up and like, hey, we know you're at MTF. Like, we can't have that, basically. Like,
there's that much beef.
Pack your things and get out of here.
No way. That's going to be actually such an epic Instagram clip if you're fine with it.
I don't care.
Nick got kicked out of Club MX. Like, what?
I can see the thumbnail right now.
Yeah.
I'm like...
Well, I'd be like... And you're like... Nick got fucking kicked out of Club MX. That's hilarious.
Did you not know that?
No, I had no idea. Dude, that's crazy. I can't believe... I knew MTF and GPF had a little beef because there's literally just a fence separating them, but I didn't know Club was in on it.
Yeah, so it was like... You could tell he felt bad, and he doesn't train there anymore. I don't think he's been there for multiple years now. But you could tell he felt bad, but obviously, like... Somebody was telling him, like, hey, you need to get these guys out of here. They're, like, with the competitors or whatever. Which is weird, because all I was trying to do was, like, get some seat time. And
that's crazy.
Train with somebody. So yeah, they kicked us out, and it kind of just worked out to where Colleen was like, hey, like, we'll make a spot.
Yeah. Shout out Colleen. That's sweet. But